Hey everybody, Dave here, and I want to send you guys this quick video message to discuss 2.10, the heart rate zone lab play lab, and really what the zones are and how to improve those particular particular component of wellness and component of health and fitness. So here we go. The zones are going to range. Now obviously we're going to have a few different training zones, and for this lab I want you to be able to play in each of those zones for I'll say a set duration of time. Now optimally for this class we are becoming our own personal trainers based off the knowledge that's being provided. And for this lab it's all about improving heart function. Now you can do a lot of different exercises to improve skeletal muscles. In fact, cardiorespiratory work actually does improve skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles are the ones you can see. Cardio muscles are the ones that are connected to your heart. And for these labs, we want to improve heart health. And so we're going to improve the heart and then the arterial system that's connected with that, in addition to the respiratory system, so the lungs. So the lungs and the heart are going to work together on this lab. Now, if you remember Saturday's lab when we did the mile run / walk / both, and it lasted anywhere between 6 minutes and 15 minutes. And the idea is for this lab is to take part of that, and now you're going to create your own little lab based off of what you learned there. Now you can do this 2.10 lab running or walking or jogging, or actually on a bike, on a rower, elliptical, Stairmaster, anything you want that is, again, cardio based. And so one of my suggestions would be warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes, then have a pre-designed program going into this. Now if you're going to work on an elliptical or a rower at like your home gym or in the Clark College Fitness Center, then what you'll do is you'll warm up on that piece of equipment for a few minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then when you're ready, I would always use my watch. So at 10 minutes, I would say, okay, at 10 minutes, I'm going to start my higher intensity work, and I'm going to do that higher intensity work for maybe 5 minutes or 5 times, maybe for like 3 minutes each. Each duration is 3 minutes of continuous work. And that work is going to get me through at least 15 minutes of total higher end work. So maybe like zone 2 or zone 3, where my heart rate is just, is much higher than it is when I'm walking or even doing a light jog. So really, here we go. So we do a 10-minute warm up, and we get our heart rate up to about 110, maybe to 130. And then we're going to take our heart rate to a higher level. So we're going to start working a little bit harder, either with more resistance on maybe a bike, a recumbent bike, stationary bike, elliptical trainer, Stairmaster, whatever it may be, or same resistance, but we're just going to move faster. So either one is going to accelerate that heart rate, get that into the next zone or maybe even the next zone, and we're going to try to sustain that for a set amount of time. And now, depending on your fitness level, you may set your time of higher intensity work for 90 seconds, and some of you may do it for 5 minutes. Either way, for this lab, we want to play with many different zones. And it's really up to you and what your fitness level is at. And if you're not very fit, then your higher intensity zone might only be for 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. But if you're really fit, it may be longer, 5 or 10 minutes. But it's also going to depend on how hard you work. If you're really fit and you work really, really hard, then maybe you can only go for a minute, but your speed is much greater. So I'll say this, play. That's the whole point of this lab, is to play with these heart rates and keep it cardio-based. Now, what is not a cardio-based activity? Surprisingly, things like basketball, tennis, racquetball, these types of, or you can even argue soccer. I mean, like these types of activities where you're stopping and going and there's no real sense of when you're going to go again. Sometimes the soccer ball is way over there, or the basketball's on the other side of the court and you're not doing a lot of moving. That's not cardio work. Cardio work is a sustained, consistent theme throughout the entire duration. Now, other forms of exercise like push-ups, kettlebell work, dumbbell work, barbell work, body weight exercises are also not cardio exercises. So choose traditional forms of cardio work. If you're not sure, send me a message and I'll work with you on this. But choose more traditional forms of cardio, things that you're comfortable with, you're familiar with, and be uncomfortable in the heart rate zones. Don't be uncomfortable trying out a new apparatus, trying out a new piece of equipment. Be comfortable on the piece of equipment and then play with your zones on that equipment by doing different interval times, and your intervals will be different from your rest intervals. So you might be running for 90 seconds and then walking or jogging for 30 seconds, and then running again for 90 seconds and then jogging for 30 to 60 seconds. Something like that. Those types of workouts really stress the heart in an appropriate manner to make it optimal training grounds for growth for that heart muscle. And remember, the heart is a muscle and it needs stress, but only appropriate stress. So these are actually are examples of what you can do and modalities of exercise that you can choose for this lab to make it appropriate. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Happy to answer. Okay, bye-bye.